Country Conversations with DVD. Now, I set this thing up for me to be horizontal. But anyway, let's get right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare because here I am rigging up my ring light again. I see. I usually have some faithful subscribers that come on in and visit with me, but I just know if people with bigger channels, if you guys don't get your notifications, I know you're not getting mine. Because I don't get mine for bigger channels or small channels sometimes, especially when they go live. Um, had quite an eventful evening. I went to the Louisville parade and I got to see my Louisville Wildcats, and it's just been a long, busy day. And so I scheduled a live. I was like, okay, well, I got time. I go ahead and schedule a live for 8:30. So, well, things didn't shake out like I thought they would because my daughter was getting her hair braided, and when she was getting hair braided, I I said, okay, well, I'll take my notes. She's getting her hair braided, but that took a little longer than what I thought it would. And here we are in Louisville, in this small town, and we only have one KFC. We have, and it's connected to Taco Bell, and we have a Jack's and a Wendy's. And when I say A, I mean we have one of each major chain restaurant. I think well, we don't have Popeyes. I don't know what's we don't have Popeyes or KFC or Applebee's or anything like that. But of course we do have McDonald's. So being that we live in this small town and we don't have a whole lot of places to eat, and it's only one of each thing that I name, I couldn't say, well, I'm going down to Fifth Street to go to McDonald's. No, I'm going to McDonald's on Main Street. Well, Highway 25. But Highway 25, crossing over into, Highway 15. Highway 15 is the highway that runs through Louisville that goes north, south. It connects us to most of the major cities in the north. Like it takes us to Memphis and um, all the states north of here. Okay. Then we have 15 going south, and that takes us to like New Orleans, and that connects us to New Orleans and Lord. There's just a little bit of history on Mississippi because a lot of people think it's so small, but it is not a small state, like I said before. It's just has a lot of rural areas, but that highway that takes us to New Orleans, it was on Jeopardy. Mm-hmm. It's asks, what is the highway that connects to the major highways that take you to New Orleans, and of course, I was so surprised. And actually, the county that I was born in and that my mother is from, they also listed the county. If they ask you what you know um, major city does Highway 15 run through to take you to New Orleans, and answer was Highway 15 to uh, Newton County. So that's a little, like I said, a history lesson. I love to do them. I do. And this is me just, getting, trying to get some people in here. But like I said, usually I have two or three faithfuls that come in, and Like I said, I'm pretty sure they didn't get the notification. But I love to go live when I have more than one show that I want to review. See, because I haven't watched Basketball Wives tonight. It's not really high on my priority list at this point. Um, I kind of, in a way, hate that I don't have that I have RHOP high on my priority list because let's get into it. We're gonna start with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Love and Marriage Huntsville, they open up the episode with Kimmy. Oh, I didn't even say who I was. I'm just on here running my mouth. How you doing? And on the mother winning. This is Country Conversations with DVD. Like I said, it's been a long night. Me trying to get my kids something to eat and sitting at the restaurant for 20 minutes and then still having to wait on my baby to get her hair braided and then trying to make sure they get in the tub. So let's get on into it. Now I'm ready. Let's get into the Marriage Huntsville. Like I said, it opened up with Maurice and Kimmy. We are yet at another Scott unfinished project, right? So I mean seems to happen to them a lot. I'm trying to get in front of this TV because I have it paused because I was watching Dr. Heavenly and Carlos. And now I'm looking over my shoulder and I see Carlos. That's Carlos right there. And my goodness, I just paused the TV and his mouth is wide open, ready to catch flies. I thought the screensaver would be on by now. Anyway, hopefully I, get him out of the shot. Wow, dog, his mouth is open wide. Okay, move right along. So another unfinished project, and Kimmy is, like trying to get yet another Scott family member to take care of business. Then she talks about how Maurice Marshmallow, I call him Marshmallow, Cheese Puff, whatever you want to call him. She talks about how he only helps her when it's convenient for him. Isn't that what all Scott men do? Because he is, you know, from my understanding, you know, they can afford a maid or whatever because, she has her job as a nurse, I guess, still. She was already into real estate. I think she said she was in the real estate before she even met um, Maurice, Marshmallow, Cheese Puff, Cream Puff, whatever you want to call him. And that's about right in line step with how the Scott brothers work. But anyway, she also gets into uh, Letitia's business, and she tells him about this pregnancy test that is not a big deal, people. She tells him about the pregnancy test that Letitia took because she was scared that she had gotten pregnant on the trip. So, what is the big deal? The test was negative, and Marshmallow like, well, it's going to be a whole nother conversation. Why? Test was negative. That lady loves Mr. Mushmouth, aka Bottom Mouth, aka Legs and Hips with no body. She loves his dirty draws. Next, Stormy visits with Letitia and they talk about Kiki. Tisha says that she has nothing for Kiki because she's back on the stuff. And then she tells Stormy's like, where are you getting this from? She's, I know when she using that stuff because her actions are saying that she is still on that stuff. And then Stormy's like, she's in recovery. I know when she is using. And on that, again, nobody knows that she actually took the test. And I think it's only fair that somebody lets this fool know that she took the test. And I don't even think Stormy knows that she took the test, but Stormy has experience with a person that was close to her that's an addict. And I don't know if that person is in recovery or not, but I think Stormy really believes kicking. And before she even took the test, I believed her. Stormy said she hates to see um, teacher accusing her in confession. She said, I hate to see her accusing her of using again. And teacher in confession says she just knows. And Marceau, uh, I don't like the way Marceau and her are making fun of the whole situation when it's just out of bounds. Okay, then in this scene they talk about what Letitia did, and Letitia says that she went to Las Vegas with some of her girls, and then she's and those girls. I think one of the girls may have been getting married, but the men went to Columbia. And Stormy says it's a brothel on every corner in Columbia. That's where men go to get P-tubes. Then she asks her about the copy and paste situation. She says, well, I think you should apologize to me about that because that's not a good look. She goes into confession and she says, it's not a, Letitia says it's not a good look for me. I mean, it's no problem for me. And also in that scene, she goes and says, well, maybe if uh, Stormy got out of the warehouse every now and then, she would see that she needs to have some fun and get out of the warehouse where she's making millions. And your husband going to Colombia without you, yet another out of the country trip without you, idiot. And then she was like, what do you think about the copy and paste thing? Again, like I said in my video when it first happened, when you use a graphic designer, I use one to do my banner, right? When I use that graphic designer to do my banner, she had some ideas that she had looked up and grabbed from my page. But I told her, no, ma'am, you come up with a great design, show it to me, and then we'll plug in my information. Now, I don't know if that's how it happened with Letitia, but she is standing on that's how things shook out, that it was all the graphic designer's fault. And I just can't see that. And a lot of people can't see that, who, especially us YouTubers who, have hired graphic designers. I mean, they come to us as soon as they find out that we have a channel. Like I said, even with me and my now 89 subscribers. Come on in, come on in. Commercial free entertainment right now. But yeah, so even with me having 88 subscribers, 89 today, 89 subscribers now, we just don't, like I said, the graphic designers come to us, and I paid one, and she didn't use anything, just where she copied and pasted something. And besides all that, also what we have to remember is that Stormy said that she came up with that design on her own. So that lets you know, if she did indeed hire a graphic designer, she had to have given her Stormy's information. Then she said, well, it's a bad look. It's a bad look for your business. And then she said, well, I got a lot of sales off of that. And then she said, well, don't you think you owe me an apology? I don't think I owe anybody an apology. It wasn't my fault. Then someone was like, but it indeed was a bad look. And I feel like it was as well. Finally, Tisha apologized. In the next scene, let's go to the daycare. Well, Chris is over there, in his feelings because he is upset because he thinks that little Chris is thinking about self deletion. And the first thing that comes out of Nell's mouth is that he's an a-hole. When your husband is coming to you, it seems like she was already jealous of their relationship because, the kids, you know, go to Chris over her when they want, when they want to talk or when they want to let things out. And she was just like, well, when his football career ended, he couldn't find anything to do with himself. And then she's like, Chris was like, look, manicure nail. Shout out to Shay Renee. I like what she called her manicure nail. And she said like it just flows right off her tongue. I don't even think she means to be funny when she calls them manicure nail, but it is hilarious to me. Anyway, manicure nail was saying that once his football career didn't jump off, she's like, he needs to find something to do. And then Chris is like, yeah, he may need to find something to do, honey, but I'm worried about him. I teared up when he was telling me about his situation. And then she said, well, I'll consider counseling. But he just need to get off his and do something. And then Chris was like, do you know he rides around aimlessly in the middle of the night trying to avoid us? And he added himself into the equation when I'm pretty sure he means just you, B. So, move right along. Kimmy, Mel, and Tisha meet at the nail shop. And then the first thing out of Kimmy's mouth, back to minding other people's business. Now, let me tell y'all again, as I've said so many times, I am so disappointed in Kimmy. Like I said, I have never turned on one of my favorites as quick as I have turned on her because I don't like Kimmy anymore. Not no more, anymore, at all, period, dot, dot. I just, She's bringing up the pregnancy test and she was like, did you tell Marcel about the pregnancy? Well, no, I didn't tell him about the pregnancy test. And again, Kimmy, you a damn nurse. You know that those damn vasectomies, what you're trying to imply here, that they don't always take. And so when Mel comes in, Mel has a seat. She said, girl, I don't come to these things. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk like Mel. I'm sorry. Let me get Mel's voice. I don't have to get my nails and toes done because I have my nails and toes done all the time. So here we go. So Kimmy, I guess I didn't make the cut to come to your name change. Well, I just wanted to have my core group of friends there. People who I know love me. I'm not saying that you and Tisha don't love me in some capacity. However, y'all come in a package. And in confession, she says that package is marshmallow, moonlight, Mac Moon Head, Moonshine Head, Maurice, and Marshonda. Marchandra, mushmouth, bottle teeth, all of the above. You do know that your teeth look like you don't have teeth at the top when you stay on the bottle too long. That might be what his problem is. Stayed on the bottle too long. And so she says, well, you don't you don't feel some kind of way about not having the same name as your children. You mean like being a baby mom? No, 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 that's not what I mean. I mean, like, you going to school and, the children having a different name than you. Um, no, I don't. I don't. I came into the marriage as a Raj, and I just wanted to just get my name changed, all because of me. It does not have anything to do with my children. So technically, if I'm not mistaken, right, you and Jalen, y'all don't have the same last name, do you? Oh, that man. And then she says in confession, those are most my ex's friends. In other words, she's saying, y'all hoes ain't my friends. We just now getting in a good place. And then she says, well, Tisha, how you doing? Last time I saw you, you was not nice to me. You was talking about you didn't take my advice on the Black Expo. And then Tisha, well, man, I just got to tell you, I want to apologize for that because I'm just saying, oh, what now? I wasn't really mad at you. It was that everybody else was there coming at me like everybody comes at Letitia and she don't do anything to other people. And I must admit that I thought Kimmy would, be more receptive to the name change as well because when Melanie said, well, technically you and Chandler don't have the same last name either. Well, I put my middle name as my last name. So we could still have the same last name and Jalen would feel some kind of way. And then she was like, well, that is true. This is my statement as DVD. Girl, my children don't have the same last name as me. And me and their father did not have the opportunity to get married. Yes, we had those babies before we got married. But um, by the time he had asked me to marry him, uh, my mom was sick, right? And he had already told me that his children are going to carry his last name. I did not have a problem with it because that's what he had laid down in the law. And had we gotten married, we all would have had the same last name. I just did not get out the opportunity to go ahead and walk down that little small aisle with him because he passed away. So in honor of him, I have no problem with my children carrying his last name and me having my daddy's last name. I am cool with it. And a lot of people are cool with it. And that's just what it is on that. Because, you know, also in this scene, when Mel is talking, she talks about how she does not feel that Letitia has the same energy towards her that she has for other people. And I agree with her there. Every time Mel has something to say, she has an issue with it. And I really think that issue that she has with Mel is number one, she's right. Number two, she's effective in business. And number three, even though Marcel does not respect e-commerce, he always agrees with me. Okay, So also in that conversation previously, because I got the transition into this next scene with Tisha and Stormy, they decide to go on a double date. So here's where the double date happens. Okay, so they go out and um, uh, Stormy is at Stormy and Courtney are at the pool hall longer than Marceau and Tisha. They are actually there, according to the show, a whole hour and 30 minutes waiting on them. I don't know if Letitia and Marceau were trying to get them to wait on them because they could, and they were just showing them that we're the core six. It's a lot of factors there. I don't know if they were just saying if these fools don't wait on us, we're gonna see. And another thing is I don't give production. It seems like production would have acted and they got ready to leave. To me. So anyway, when they finally do arrive, it is icy in there, which is the reason why I don't understand why this situation even happened in the first place. It's very icy. And uh, so let me get to what more sour says. I think they just have pleasantries, but it's like I said, it's icy. Courtney Marceau, I think he breaks the ice by saying, "Are you still mad at me?" Because Maurice told me that you was mad at me. And Courtney says, "Look, I don't have a problem with you." And he said, "But you did call me Mr. Steele. And you know that ain't my name. That's kids junk." And then Marcel said, "Well, you want me to call you Courtney, but you have no problem with your wife calling me a bitch." Good point. And I'm going to tell you why. Because either way it goes, you not being called out of your name. He's punking you by saying that you are the woman in the relationship because Stormy is the breadwinner or she's the one who came up with the idea of canvas beauty. That's why he's trying to punk you. You know how like people call Todd Burris Mr. Ooh, I did it. I didn't mean to though. Call Todd Tucker Todd Burris. That's what you were trying to do because you think Stormy is the breadwinner. And he was like, "Well, yeah, I didn't mean any harm by, calling you Mr. Steele." Yes, you did. You meant harm. You knew what that would do. Stormy said, "Well, you didn't have a problem with me calling you a batch either. You said you were the biggest batch." You got a point there, Stormy. Marcel said, "Well, I had to get my lick back." She said, "Well, you should have got your lick back at me. I'm the one who said it." Like that. And he was like, uh, you agreed with me that you would never call me a batch again. She said, "Well, I didn't in that moment." And Storm said, um, in confession, she said she wasn't going to call him one again, but he continues to act like one. Marcel's been acting like that since he been on the show. And Marcel was like, "Well, in your culture, you said that you hear that all the time." And then he said, "Well, I'm not gonna play with you anymore. I'll just ignore you." That right there, Dawn. That right there. That's how she ended up getting a drink thrown in her face. "Don't play with me." And then Letitia's like, "Well, that doesn't matter about me, ignoring somebody. There's still no reason to get a drink thrown at somebody's face." Stormy said, "I didn't say it was, but that's why she did it." Oh, doggone Storm. A lot of people don't like Storm's attitude, but I sure did like it in this moment. Marcel said, "Well, I don't have time to learn other people's culture." Oh. Marceau. Now, let me ask you something more so. Being that you are from Detroit, is that Detroit? Yeah. No, you're not from Detroit. They say you're from Pontiac. Being that you are from Pontiac, are you doing that thing that Big Willie Style does over there on Bell Collected? Are you looking down on my good homegirl? Because she from the South and Kemper County. Is that what you're doing? Or are you trying to say that she's from the wrong side of the track, like you said about your own wife? Either way it go, it's some elitism in that statement. I said what I said. Then Stormy said, well, I'm about to leave. Boop, 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 boop. Keys, purse, pool stick, chunked them up. And she was like, I know I said I was gonna be cool with them Scots, but it's over for me. It's done for me. I'm not cool with them. I'm not messing with them no more. That's what she said in confession. So then once she got up out there and Courtney said, you about to leave me? She said, I'll watch you play, but I'm not playing anymore. I'm done. And when she said she was done, I think she meant she was done with them all together. Period. Dot, dot, dash. Now let me get to the Real Housewives of Potomac. Now I didn't give the title to Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I believe that was season 6, episode 26 or 27. Here's the problem. Philo, Philo, or whatever you want to call it, it does not recognize this 6B, 6A type the shiznit. It just don't. That is what it is on that. And let me make sure I closed out that properly. She said she would watch them, and then I said on my own that that's yet another couple that ain't looking with the Scott 1.0. So eventually, what is the goal of Scott 1 and 2.1.0 and 2.0? They don't respect Mel because she's single now. The women don't respect her because she didn't stay in a marriage with a cheating husband, which she stayed as long as she could, right? So I'm trying to figure out exactly what do they think she needs to do. So, and what do they need to do to um, be cool with Stormy? Because Stormy can't film with just Courtney. Are they trying to pull it Giselle? Let me transition on into what's going on the Real Housewives of Potomac. They getting on my nerves. These people are getting on my nerves. And let me just get into it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this show. I'm just particularly pissed off watching it. It gets on my nerves. The xenophobia, the colorism, the racism, the internal racism, the everything. This whole coming up with demons and spells and like they in the Shire out there on Lord of the Rings. They kind of might be in the Shire because Michael is Spiegel, aka Gollum. So okay. Um Ashley, Giselle, and Mia meet and they're talking about this trip that Ashley's planning. And they talk about the pickleball event, and then they said that they really believe that Aneka is telling the truth. Even Ashley. She said because Aneka seems like she's telling the truth because she said it was a lot of conviction. Lawyers can say things with conviction. That don't mean they're telling the truth. They just have a good way of making things sound like they are. Catch. Okay. So when they Eddie me for lunch and Eddie was upset, he was like, "What in the hell did I do to old boy?" And she was like, "I don't know." He said y'all went to college together. And then in confessions, they asked, when did they go to college together? She said they may have gone to college together, but if he doesn't remember him, then that means he's not memorable. Ah, okay. Yeah. So back to the scene with them in the store, Giselle says, "Well, I asked Jamal, no, I asked Jamal. I asked Jamal. Look at him doing my neck. I'm on my neck too. You see that? Mm-mm. That girl looks like she has things that she can hide in them. Okay, I can do it like this. Well, I did ask Jamal. You mean you asked Pastor Penis Jamal? You asked Pastor Peen Jamal? What was the demons and the witchcraft and all this good stuff? And you said Pastor Peen Jamal said that the thing was real, but him passing the pain is what exactly? Child, you would have done better going overseas and talking to a shaman and asking them what was the real deal and how do people live in vigilance life. Nigeria is one of the most heavily colonized cities in Africa. Of course, they have the colonizers' mindsets. I'm not even sure if they even have villages still in Nigeria. I know it's very metropolitan because I had an ex-boyfriend from there and he was quite westernized. However, he did tell me, I know you are jealous because I can go outside in the day of the week and it does not matter. I may see a zebra running across the street. I say, yes, I am jealous about that. I may see a lion chasing a cheetah. I may see a cheetah chasing a gazelle. Oops, I meant gazelle. Not Giselle. Okay. So anyway, in the next scene, Aneka and I go to the doctor, and she said that the doctor said that our sperm count is low, and he said, "But I know what we need to do. We need to have more sex." And she said, "Will you be quiet and just let me talk?" Because she's like, "Well, it's not her; it's his low sperm count." But the doctor said all they got to do is get in. Bumping and humping and bumping. And then I thought about this thing. She's talking about Eddie needs to get out. Are you sure? As they say over there on Sisters a lot of times. Are you sure it's Eddie that up? Are you sure it's not Ike that doesn't need to get out? Because Eddie loves his wife and he does not talk to her any kind of way. He gives her respect. I don't see Eddie as a, roll over and take it type of dude. But Ike, on the other hand, he seems like he is, and he is very upset, very upset with Eddie because Eddie act like he don't know me. Eddie probably don't know you. Eddie just said in the scene with his wife when they were eating lunch that y'all went to school together, maybe, and that's all he knows. Then he thought about it, I guess, and said, well, maybe if we did, he's younger than me. High school. In this little bit of town that I am from, I had this guy that I was dating. And when I was dating him, he was younger than I am. He remembered me. I didn't remember him. He still holds that against me to this day. Even my children's father is younger than I am. Both of these guys said that they had crushes on me when we were in school. And The only reason why I remember my children's father is because his sister and I were in the same class. But this guy right here, he had so much animosity towards me. Oh, you don't remember me? You know I had a crush on you, but you hung with the snooty girls. And I was like, out of all the snooty girls, I was never Z. Okay? I was never big sister gorgeous one. I never did, try to keep people out of our clique because they didn't have what we had. Because, like, I did hang with let's keep it real. Okay? I hung with them because we were all kind of smart, made good grades. Some of us lived in the same neighborhood, but we called them the snooties because they only hung with each other, right? And we did a lot of things together. Me and my best friend integrated into their group, not because we had what they had, because they, considered upper middle class. We were considered, middle class. One of the girls in our group, daddy, was actually the county agent in the whole, 4-county area, which was what we call ourselves, which is shout out to our football teams in the 4-county area. So, yeah, I wouldn't say that he was broke, but they would be. And then one of my friends, her dad, she passed away, R.I.P. Kim. One of her dad, he worked at a plant. But her mom worked in a bank. So that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, big sister gorgeous one, she tries to keep people out of the clique. And so I didn't know a lot of people in underclasses under me, but it wasn't what the guy who was trying to date me was assuming, because I hung with the snooties, that I ignored him. No, that was not the case. I just did not know him. These days, I'm scared to say you don't know somebody. Like I said, I've told this story before. I just I still sometimes hate that I have this memory that I do. But it's just like when I ran into Tam from Bell Collective. I ran into her maybe like about 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, hey Tam, just speaking. And she was like, do I know you? And I said, yeah, we had class together. And she was like, oh, yeah, because I'm famous now. I know a lot of people. I said, oh, okay. And I just kept it pushing. I wasn't trying to cloud chase off her when I got my channel or nothing like that. The facts are the facts. We had class together. I don't consider her one of my okay, so for me, I can only speak for myself. During the time that we see, because it's different than like with Eddie and this guy, because I'm pretty sure they were at a PWI. And PWIs, you don't have close contact with your classmates, like kind of like at a HBCU, like we do. We almost like family. So we did, to me, get close. To me. And then my memory is so good that she cannot deny that we didn't have at least class together. Okay? Because if it got that serious, I could easily pull up my grades and records and show that we made those grades together. Because for the most part, we didn't have a choice, because we were both in mass communications, but to have classes together. And being that we had classes together and we sat together, because her name is Tamara Cherie, my name is Donna. And so we sat together in every class and we did all of our projects together, and we hung out outside of school. That's just the facts. It is what it is. Not that I'm trying to cloud chase off of her. So when I hear things like this, I'm not sure 100% if Aneka is lying about her and Wendy being in close proximity to each other. Now, whereas, Tam can just say maybe she don't remember me, and that way she don't know me. But usually, I'm just going by what my Nigerian boyfriend told me now. And I noticed that he was hanging out with a lot of people from New Nigeria. YouTube. What they normally do is they form families here in America. And I'm thinking that may have been happening to what happened to Aneka and Wendy's family. I don't think they did like they did on the Family Karma and came together. Because for the simple fact, I really do believe that Aneka thinks that Wendy came from a cursed tribe. My opinion. In my opinion, I think that's what happened. However, I also believe that she did drop Wendy's name. And when Wendy said she didn't know her like that, because it's more so that Alebe is friends with Ivy. I think she thought of it as a situation like my family member and a friend of a friend can get me on the show. So it's just a slippery slope on what people consider knowing somebody. Yeah, like I said, I knew Tam. We had most of our class together, but not only did we have our classes together, we hung out outside of school. Did Eddie and I hang out outside of school? My memory is so good that I can tell you that I've honestly, when I saw that house that she was at, when she went to see her parents, I've been there. Okay. Neither here nor there. It is what it is. It's the truth. I don't have no reason to lie. I take a lie detector. It ain't that serious, but it's just the fact that, when I ran into her and she didn't remember me, it was okay with me. I didn't, like I said, I didn't, girl, you know me. You know me. I said, okay, girl, all right then. And I kept the push because I don't chase nobody. Okay. And I think that really got into Aneka's crawl space because she's like, how dare she act like she don't know me? I'm not the one that came from the Chris tribe. Did anybody ever think about that? Did anybody ever consider that when people in this group of friends are saying that she acts like she doesn't know Aneka because Aneka is really, they trying to say is better than her, and not only better than her, but she's jealous of Aneka because she did penetrate into the group. Okay, move right along. They get ready to go to Austin, and I'm thinking if I got this correct, Ashley breaks cars down into groups of 3 by their astrological signs, fire and water. I couldn't figure out who the water signs were. They flash that so quickly, so I'm not sure. But I believe it was Wendy, Candace, and Roble in the car together. I call her Robin Roble. And then it was Ashley, Giselle, Karen, and Aneka in the car together. So anyway, they get to the hotel and like they had never seen nothing of luxury before. Now here is what a lot of the complaints are I see on Twitter, that they act like they don't know luxury. And that's a problem for some people, but I don't think this franchise ever came in on luxury. I think they came in on Pedigree and Snobberty and being high yellow and Pedigree. Now, they won't say that on this show, but Pedigree and Blue Vein all goes in hand, and that means you licensed. And then they're gonna try to say they're not colors. That's what that. I know that they let some people in the J and J. I'm not gonna say it now that are dark complected, but they do have to be very, very rich. Okay. I'm just keeping it 110, not 115. But they said that the show was originally supposed to be about J and J. I'm not gonna say it. If you black, you know what I mean. I had a friend that was in J and J, and she wasn't dark. I'm just saying it like it is. Now her parents were high end folks. They were professors. Shout out to Dr. Wind. So Giselle asked, trying to shove Giselle off on Karen. She asked her, "Y'all good?" And so excited. And well, no. I wouldn't say we are cool, but I bought the car, I bought the pie, and that pie told me, and I'm like, the fuck is Karen talking about? I bought a pie for $2. And she said, "Well, I'd rather be in a small room. I'd rather be in a small room than to hang around Robin, who didn't earn her suite." And I said, "I gave that suite to Robin because she going through it with Mr. Juanita. What should I say? Mrs. Juanita." So Miss Mia asked, "What's the itinerary?" For some reason, Mia always look like this to me. Why she look like that all the time? Like she got a smile, a permanent. Did all that surgery put a permanent smile on Mia's face? And again, if you can get all that surgery, what in the hell happened to your skin? Ain't nothing they can do. So now I skipped over something because I believe Mia and Gordon go to therapy before they get to, this trip. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is because Mia talks about in therapy that she considered divorce, and we all know where they are headed because Gordon's pockets are dry. Apparently, they had somebody working for them who stole a couple dollars, just like Roblay's best friend. This story is so simple, and we all know how Lamh lie. So, is it possible that she copied and pasted like Tisha? Because this story, I'm telling you, the dude stole some money. Then he apologizes. Then he self-deletes. Once they find out where the money went. Where the money resides, where the money resides. Weird. Okay. So Karen says, I believe it was Karen who said it. Let me see. Once they get back in there, they went for their little walk, and Candace asked Aneka where she and Wendy cool. And Wendy did it. I don't know her not to be cool with her. Again, Karen says, well, we're gonna address the elephant in the room because the pickle party, it just went awry. And then Karen says, Candace, you and Giselle, y'all still having problems? And then Candace was like, yeah, basically. This B thinks that she can come in, talk to me crazy, make these allegations against my husband, and then she thinks that I'm gonna disappear. Yet my black ass is still here. And Giselle says, for the protection of me and my children, because Chris made me, forced me. Do you see that buzzword? This is dog whistles, Miss Hale. Forced me to go into a room with him and made me feel uncomfortable. So for the safety of me and my girls, I'm just going to leave Candace over there. Well, Candace left you over there too, Miss Hale, big sister gorgeous one. So, excuse me. Robin and Mia, like I said, they had their little talk. Karen is still trying to mediate. Giselle brings up the witch thing. Okay. So she was like, well, Aneka and I believe Aneka and Wendy started going back and forth about to not knowing each other. Oh yeah, and then Candace, Giselle did bring up the witch thing. Giselle says, just not the whole witch thing because Karen is still trying to mediate. And Candace says, calling her a witch is a serious allegation. So, do you really believe it? And out of the blue, Giselle has all this respect for it. Well, yeah, well, your mother did say these things about Mia. Now, mind you, Mia is like, how I get in this? So then Aneka says, never in my 14 years of life have I ever been treated the way you treated me. Like your mother submitted my name to shrines. You had to admit this at least when he says at least about Mia. Mia and Rhop says, yeah, her mother did say some things about Mia on social. Wendy pulls out her phone and reads what her mother says. Thunderous hellfire, Holy Ghost, hellfire, be thrust upon you, crater face. Mia talking about my baby. Beautiful on the inside and out. And I said, bravo, Wendy mama, because I would have done the same thing. My baby is 5 years old and she has a bully. It's taking everything for me to be about 5 seconds off calling her mom. But right now, I'm thinking they have them in the classroom. So I'm trying my best as parent of the year to let them handle it. It's cool. But my baby got one more time. Come here and tell me that that little girl done pushed her, done pulled her hair, done called her out her name. And I'm about to light up that little kid out there. I'm just letting you know. So I understand that. Now, mind you, in this, Aneka goes on to say that her mother and the sister talked to, girl, this mess is so foolish. I can't even get the whole thing in my mind right. But I believe she said that her in-law talks to, see, we all doing this show. Her in-law talked to Wendy's mom for about 52 minutes. And during that 52 minutes, she was dragging Aneka's name. Also, Aneka is 35, but she has spent 40 years of life on this earth. Now, I'm going to call Dr. Ivy, because that's the kind of doctor that Aneka respects, right? When it says that, yes, LeBay was friends with Dr. I. And then I believe it was, see, trying to get this whole convoluted mess straightened out. I believe Aneka said in response to that, if you don't know LeBay, remember you said you don't know LeBay, why did you call her up and say that she's the woman that you want to be like the most at her sipping, at your daughter's sipping scene? First of all, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I don't think the daughter's sipping scene should have been brought up at this moment, because it might have been a situation where, yes, Lebe was at the sipping scene as a extension of family to uh, Dr. Ivy's friend. Because guess what, people? I invite my sister's best friend to things. She came to my daughter's gender reveal, and she was the only one who came to my gender reveal who was invited. So, yes, sometimes they are an extension of your friendships with your sisters and brothers. However, that doesn't mean that you are friends with that person. And from my understanding, they fell out. When it gets online, she talks about how Libby be asking for her for the doctor's name to get the BBL and all that good stuff that all went down on tutorial last night. Go check it out over there on X. They were going back and forth and forth and back and forth and back. And Wendy said that she been trying to hold her peace. It brought the demon out of her. The Holy Ghost fire. Okay. So that is the end of Roho Hop. Hop. They get on my nerves. Like I said, if my channel was bigger and I didn't stand on watching Potomac, now I am a long time a subscriber of Bunny Blue. Bunny Blue was all up in the season 5 of Rohop. That's where relationships were broken and relationships were found and relationships were mended and then relationships ended. Over season 5 with Real House of Potomac. But I believe Miss Bonnie Blue is thinking about, and my Karen voice, I believe she's thinking about dropping Rohop with all the pedigree and all the manners. Because baby, for me, I don't do xenophobia. I hate internal racism more than I hate external. It's just me. Because I'll say it in every video and I'll say it again. Our cultures are separated because we were brought across the ocean. And being that these cultures were separated, the ignorance that is coming out of these khaki colored women's mouths, Giselle, Ashley, Robin, making fodder out of our Nigerian brothers and sisters, former heritage for this show, and because they hate Wendy so much. Wendy fumbled twice in this whole Aneka mess. She should have just said, I don't know you. You can't make me know you. If I say I don't know you, that doesn't have anything to do with you coming on the show. I'd rather have my friend Kiana, who is really my friend, and you are a friend of a cousin or something like that, come on the show. Then it wouldn't have been all of this. But because Roble and Giselle caught wind of what was going on through Forehead Darby, Five Head Darby, Hey Honor Darby, Movie Football Head Darby. Because she caught wind of what was going on through Movie Football Head Darby, they said, yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to exploit Wendy and Aneka's culture. And Aneka is disappointing me to the core by going through with this foolishness. You exploring your culture too, dear, in front of these good high yellow women who probably have about that much African DNA left in them because their ancestors decided that they wanted to commingulate with each other. You're getting in front of these women whose ancestors decided that they want to kind of wash out everything African about them. And those are the people that you want to get with. The people who supposed to be Christian, but don't even know that Holy Ghost fire is all up in the Bible. It's an analogy. It's not witchcraft. And if you take that literally, you're an idiot. I said what I said. I believe I tweeted about it. Now, let's get on to, finally Carlos faces off the screen of my TV. Let's get on to Married to Medicine. This is going to be off the dome because for some reason I can't find my notes on Married to Medicine. That's neither here nor there. I'm going to go by what I remember. Show opens up with them. They always open up with hanging out and going to their different practices, which is wonderful. And Jackie is meeting with the brat. The brat is still doing the wrong thing. She's still being hard-headed, but we know the baby came out healthy. Moving right along. So I'm trying to think who all goes to Quad's house. I believe it was, I don't think Dr. Jackie was in this season. I believe it was Heavenly, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly and Phaedra. They go to see Quad, right? And so Quad confronts Dr. Heavenly about being cool with Sweet Tea. And she was like, well, you had the audacity to actually, take pictures with her and y'all all friendly and buddy. And y'all didn't even, you acted like we weren't friends. And so Quad and Dr. Heavenly raised their voices at each other. And Dr. Heavenly like, don't do that. All up in Quad house now. But Phaedra says that she's got to get the group back on track. She's the one who's going to do it, being that she is from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She is not a cast member here, so how does she know what the dynamics of this group is either? All she knows is that she and Quad are friends through Dr. G, who they both date. So we get to LaToya. LaToya calls sweet tea, sour tea, bitter tea. That's what I call it. I don't like tea. I'm going to tell you why. I don't like sour tea because sour tea is definitely an opportunist, in my opinion. It's my opinion. So she calls her and she's like, girl, did you get some sex? Toya is the sex expert child. No, girl, my cycle's on. During the whole trip, it's caused by stress. No, your period don't come on because you're having stress. Now, her fibroids may have escalated things, but no, stress don't cause your period to come on. Stress may cause it to go off. But I've never heard stress causing it to come on. But baby, she says, we're going to have a day of pamper. We're going to get us some shots. And so they was like talking about the gushy. And they go over there and they get the shots. And before that, our Phaedra is passing out her, invitations to this somber event Ooh, with that sexy, sexy doggone butler. That thing is fine. Woo! Oh, we're fine. He's sexy now. So he goes around passing the invitations out, and they all get the invitations. And by this time, it's time to have the shots. They go over there. It's Simone, Latoya, and uh, Sweet Tea, and they talk about Heavenly and why she took Heavenly off of the invitation list. And there is Latoya acting innocent, like she wasn't out there practically in glee that she was disinvited to this wedding. Now, they're sitting there and they're laughing and talking, and everybody on Twitter, okay, I'm going to say it. I can say it because I'm an overbite girl myself. Okay. They said, can you imagine all of the spit and teeth in that room? Oh, it ain't funny. It is funny because I can say it because I'm overbite girl. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They tell Sweet Tea about this event that's coming up, and they was like, girl, you weren't invited, girl. I know why you wouldn't invite. You wouldn't invite because Quad was there. Well, Quad came to my pebble party. Move right along. So we get to, I believe, I want to say Simone. I want to say Simone is the next scene, and Simone is upset with her chairman child because Cecil is babying them on what's presumed to be the money being brought in by Dr. Simone's practice. And everybody is saying, even Dr. Heavenly is implying that he has no problem with them living up under his roof because they are using Simone's money. Simone has laid down the law. She has said, you have 1 year, I will pay for your apartment for that year, but you must provide a job. You need to go to summer school. She's telling Miles that. Miles and Michael, I think Michael is the baby. That's the one Dr. Jackie delivered. So yeah, Miles. And she's telling Miles, I'm giving you a year, which is fair because she's tired of those boys living off her for free. And yet another scene that we don't know what's going on with Dr. Heavenly's marriage is, because she implied herself that her boys may be going through the same thing. These are children of privilege. That's how it rolls. But Dr. Jackie also said about Quad that Quad has this tendency to be friends with them while they're family. Okay, so I'm going to get to the event. I don't care about anything else, I don't think, anyway. Let's go on down there to Willie Watkins' studio. Because that's what it was. They turned the mortuary into a studio. Because, like a phoenix, they all arrive, blah, blah, blah. Sweet Tea does tag along. And they all arrive, and here they are. And Phaedra does this elaborate speech about the phoenixes rising from the ashes, and then they open the casket, and then out comes a beautiful swan Quad, the phoenix that rose from the ashes. And then don't forget that Phaedra said, "Sweet Tea, you weren't invited." We have doctors, we have doctors' wives, and then we have a tennis expert. I can't stand Phaedra because she lies so much. But we have doctors' wives and a tennis expert. I got a call coming in. Let me end that call. And so, Sweet Tea and Sweet Tea and Heavenly get into. And it's like, oh, Sweet Tea is a girl, look, girl, you don't know who you're messing with. And then she was like, well, you saying that your husband you was gonna hit your husband and have the fire brand because Sweet Tea is pissed off because Dr. Heavenly and all her glory and doing what Dr. Heavenly does, producing the show. Excuse me. Can't pause a lie. Hello? Girl, I'm on live. Bye. That's my sister. Farrell should be in the bed. Okay. I'm wrapping this thing up because my young Pharaoh is about to get some disciplinary action because they have benchmark testing in the morning and the parent of the year. Do not play that. Okay. So, anyway, Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly are about to roll on the floor. Don't come up on me like that. Dr. Heavenly does that. She did that to Quad. Now I'm gonna say Quadrille name is Quad because they call her Quadrille. I mean, they call her Quad because her name is Quadrille or Quadrille or something like that. But Quad has the quads too. Works out. Dr. Heavenly. One of these days, I love that. But one of these days, one of those women are going to land one of those licks upside your good head. I need to go on ahead and wrap this up because my sister is having a crisis again. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close by saying that Quad was wrong. They took to dinner. Quad put hands on Toya in a way. They go back and forth about the the accusation of Quad messing with the contractor, and then Toya cheating on Eugene, and Quad accusing her of having a robbery happen in her home, in a needless home, and Quad said, "You should know me better than to believe that I would say something like that about you." And I mean, that Toya was telling her, "You should know me better than think that I would have somebody's home robbed." She didn't actually say it. She did imply it. And just like Tisha, and just like my thumbnail says, no accountability from Quad, no accountability for Tisha for using that graphic designer, no accountability from Giselle for accusing and wrongfully accusing Mr. Chris of forcing her, I almost said making, I mean the word she used, forcing her into a room against her will, inappropriately, as if she did nothing to actually cause her rift with Candace, as if Robin didn't cause anything to cause her rift with Wendy, as if Aneka didn't social client and use Wendy's name. Like I said, Wendy fumbled a good read, a good simple read on neck brace. Just could have been just like that. But I tell you who got in a good read, that good melody. Okay? So soft, so good, so light. And as Karen said, you know, at least Aneka's mama at least Wendy's mama put the word holy in there because That had to be good. Okay. So if I forgot something, charge to my head and my interrupting phone calls, I'm about to get out of here. I'm chunking them up as I do when I close. Deuces. Yeah.